Hey everybody, welcome to Tellman and Fellman Live. I'm going to say it again just because we never start that quickly. Hey everybody, welcome to Tellman and Fellman Live. It's a name that's so nice, I said it twice. My name's Harris Fellman.
My name's Tellman.
There is
Tellman.
And in the middle, we have Jeff
Levine. Jeff Levine, the psychic Bigfoot himself. How's it going, dude?
Good. Thanks for having me on, fellas.
You know, I'm so stoked. My first business was a salsa company. I started in my dorm room in college. I just made a batch the other day. So good. I really want to bring it back. What were you going to say, Harris?
No, I was going to say I don't know anything about Jeff. I'm looking forward to meeting him and getting to know him, and I do have something to offer before we get started. But go ahead and talk about salsa.
Well, Jeff, I'm going to talk about hot sauce. Jeff and I are friends locally. I think we may. I don't know where did we meet.
I used to see you driving around the Tellman mobile.
That's right.
Around town for sure, and I used to fancy myself as a long distance runner. So
you're also a runner.
I was. Not, yeah, I wouldn't currently identify as.
But hold on. Are you unable to run? Are you injured?
No, I'm capable, able.
Dude, you're done for.
Crazy.
You're done for. You're joining the barefoot running team now.
Let's go.
All right, well, dude, check it out. So Jeff often shows up at the Brattleboro Farmers Market, which is like one of the best farmers markets in the nation, I might add.
Selling his hot sauce.
Hot sauce, yeah. And I know that maybe that's where we originally actually met. I don't know. One way or the other, this is his hot sauce that is my absolute favorite. It's one of his newest ones, if not the newest one. I think as the best title. I love of all the hot sauces you've made. I like this one the most.
Thank you.
And it really caught my attention. It's called.
And you will be eating this on air, right? Tellman, you're gonna take a little bit in your mouth on air in a little bit.
I can, but it's not.
Yeah. We're gonna everybody hang on. Be sure to stay until the half-hour mark. Yeah. Tellman is gonna have some. He's gonna drink.
Actually, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to bait our viewers into
all two of them
asking a marketing question to the first 3 viewers that we see their marketing question come through in the comments. We're streaming like 12 different locations, so bear with us. But the first 3 viewers to ask a marketing question and share the video, I'm going to ship you a bottle of Jeff's hot sauce on my dime of the psychic Bigfoot.
Okay, that's cool, but you're also going to take a teaspoon of it in your mouth for every marketing question.
I know. I get where you're going, Harris, but
I guess
the look that Tellman is giving right now is because it's not really a super crazy.
No, like I could eat this. I could eat this whole bottle of hot sauce on the rest of my breakfast sandwich right now, and it wouldn't be that big a deal. It's not a blazer. It's not a ripper of a hot sauce. It's an incredibly tasty, fruity hot sauce, I might add.
I know that it's psychic. I know what it is. I'm trying to be easy. They don't know. They don't know how spicy or not it is. Listen, there's TV shows, there's comedy shows, there's talk shows, there's interview shows. Tellman, built
Hot Ones is great. It changed the world.
Some of the most successful interview shows, getting celebrities to eat hotter and hotter and hotter hot sauce. I wish I could do it. It burned ketchup burns my mouth. I something.
Oh! I didn't realize you were such a hot sauce lightweight, Harris.
I am, but I'll do it too. I'll get some ketchup. You eat that. I'll eat some ketchup. I'll find something spicy. My daughter probably has something spicy.
I'll do it too. What do
you got there?
I actually just made. This was a batch that I made last night when I was driving home.
Slurp.
Talking to you, Tellman. This is my slurp. Another one of my favorite artworks for my sauce.
Oh, got a little risque.
That's a peach habanero. This is my peach habanero, and the peach crop this year was a bumper, as they say. So I've been
the habanero. That's a high one. What's the guy's name again? We talked about him on one of the shows.
Johnny Scoville. I'm going to ask Johnny to come in. I've interviewed him before. He's great. You must know Johnny Scoville from Chase the Heat, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, dude. That guy knows how to do it. He live streamed, I think 7 days a week, certainly 5, for over 7 years on YouTube every day, unedited. and now he's like the biggest hot sauce celebrity in the world, like the biggest hot pepper celebrity in the world.
All right, well, I'll find something spicy, even though I don't want to do it. If we get so number 1 is Tellman, number 2 is Jeff, and number 3 is me. If we actually get 3 questions, I'll go run and find some. But before we do that, I just wanted to tell you guys, I'm not going to do a magic trick, but people think it's funny that when I travel as a magician, they're like, how do you get all this stuff through security? Because sometimes I have little party poppers. They didn't blink an eye at that. I had explosives on the plane yesterday. They didn't blink an eye at that. But basically, each of my bags, I only had 2 bags. Each of them got stopped for 2 different things. The first one, they were like, what's in this box? This is coming up weird for security. What's in this box? And I'm like, oh, it's just my magic wands, man. I mean, like, I don't know. I can't stab anybody with this. And then a couple magic wands, right? This is
that's more of a classic. Yeah.
This is a classic. This is actually David Copperfield's magic wand. You see, he's older and it doesn't stay stiff. Okay, it's a little joke for you, little comedy joke for you. And then the other bag, the guy's like, you have a hammer in your bag, and I'm like, a hammer? You can't bring a hammer on the airplane? And he's like, no. I was like, oh yeah, I think I do have a hammer on the airplane. So we pull out this hammer, and then I'm like, yeah, but I mean, I can't hurt anybody. And the guy cracked up, and he's like, oh, I said, you thought you were going to get a free hammer today, didn't you? So anyway, he was like, yeah, and he laughed, and we moved on. But anyway, that's what happens to magicians going through security. I didn't even think about the hammer. I'm like, oh no, did I have some liquids or something? And yeah, but usually I have the hammer folded up, but for whatever reason, it looked like a hammer in the X-ray machine, sonogram. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so that's it. Something totally non-marketing, a little bit of behind the scenes magic. So why do we have Jeff on? This is a marketing show.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, like, as soon as I think of hot sauce, I think and interview shows, I really do think of the direction I went to a minute ago, which is, yeah, exactly. What'd you say?
Hot ones.
Hot ones, that one. So in Spain, one of my buddies started a show called Hot Wands, and so he used to do a show. He also does a show called Drink, Drank, Drunk, where you have a debate and you have to take a shot. Like, there's like 5 or 6 shots of whatever during the course of the show. So people are getting drunk or whatever, and then they're like, we should do a comedy show with hot sauce and make you tell jokes while you're getting increasing numbers of hot sauce. I wish I could do it because I really think it's a cool concept, but I
could hypnotize you to develop a different persona that is fully not only tolerant but a winning.
It's not the tolerance.
I can hypnotize you to win hot gums. I can hypnotize you to win hot pepper.
I think it's physical.
Your brain controls most of your body, Harris.
not my brain. All right, let me go see if I get some hot sauce.
That's the show. That's the show, Tellman. We could hypnotize somebody on a show that can't handle heat, like a self-professed weakling for hot sauce, and you can get them to try the hottest.
Yeah, eat a ghost pepper and not flinch. That would.
My daughter has some Tabasco. Okay.
Oh, I have a bottle of Tabasco over here, but I'm not going to use it because it's kind of.
No, you have to use his stuff. This is what
that's European Tabasco.
Put that down.
Look at the difference. European Tabasco.
Yeah, look at that. That's in a plastic bottle. Everything you have is plastic. Your hammer.
Sriracha.
Oh, it's Tabasco Sriracha. That's almost blasphemy.
Oh, yeah. I love Sriracha though. Okay. Why is that blasphemy?
So here. That's not how you.
Why is it blasphemous? Why is Tabasco Sriracha blasphemous?
No, it's not Tabasco. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to shut the F up, and I'm going to let you, because you're the one that invited Jeff on the show. He looks like a lovely guy, and he's probably successful with Silk City hot sauce.
So Jeff texted me the other day, and he's like, dude, awesome show. Loved it. You gave me this great testimonial. I was like, thanks, dude. Say that in the comments. And so he did. And I was like, awesome. And then I asked him if he wanted to jump on the show and ask us any marketing questions. And I know that he and I have had a couple like here and there marketing discussions over the last few years. And so I thought we'd get on, let him promote his hot sauce a little bit and ask any marketing questions that you have as a fan of the show. So, or if you have any like challenges that you're having, or anything that you're trying to pull off with your business, but you don't know quite how to do it. Like, I've given a lot of thought on how to sell hot sauce and salsa over the years. I've actually given a lot of thought to your business in particular that we haven't even talked about. So anything that you have, we would love to hear where you're at, and just talk about entrepreneurship and hot sauce and how it's all working.
Sure. I appreciate. Yeah.
I'm really interested. I really love applying this stuff to stuff other than the stuff we do, like that's most interesting to me, and we can get a lot from it. So let's hear it.
And honestly, that's why I've been watching the show. I tuned in because I'm friends with Tellman, and I actually respect his info and his recommendations that he's made over the years at the farmers market. Always very engaging and real solid advice. That's not like no bullshit. I do appreciate whenever you give me advice, Tellman. And I'm just like this, I'm just this classic Vermonter living up here and working like 3 or 4 different jobs and having the side gig, the hot sauce side gig.
Well, that's a good thing. I thought hot sauce was your full-time thing. No, I thought that was your main gig.
It's not. I'm like everybody else up here. I've got a little gig over here. I've got a little part-time job over here. I'm on call for another company that calls me. That's another story. We won't even get into it, but it's like an on-call position from 7 p.m. through 7 a.m. the next morning. It's interesting. It's got really interesting stories, but that's not why we're here. So the hot sauce, I'm super passionate about. I've been creating it since 2017. So what is that? Like 6-7 years I've been doing it, and I really enjoy it. I enjoy the marketing aspect, as you can see, the Psychic Bigfoot, the artwork, the flavor profiles. I sort of think up the way that like a songwriter, I think, imagines a song. The Psychic Bigfoot, for example, is fig, balsamic, habanero, roasted red pepper. There's a little sugar in there, salt. It like brings all those flavors together, so you can taste the fig, the roasted pepper, the sugar, and so that part I enjoy, and I enjoy selling it, but I'm at a point where nobody knows about it except for you and a few people at the farmers market.
And all of our viewers now.
And all your viewers here. I never built a list. I have a website, soapcityhotsauce.com. I will spend money in the brand. I'll spend money, like all the money that I make from the brand, I'll spend back into the brand. And that's kind of where it's at. It's like a glorious money-making hobby.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what my salsa business was like for 5.5 years. I started it when I was 19. I bootstrapped the whole thing. Like, I borrowed some money from family members, and I somehow had credit cards at some point that got me $100,000 in debt over the, with failed business attempts. Like, it was bad. And I worked, 2 or 3 part-time gigs to support my salsa habit. You know what I mean? I just barely made enough money to make the next batch from selling the previous batch, And so it was a grind for a while. And like, if you do it the like slow growth traditional way, unless you're funded, right? Like you have to be really smart, like about how, very meticulous about how you do it. But there are faster ways to grow.
Yeah.
Right. There are faster ways to grow. So hot sauce also has higher margins than salsa. Right. So like you made the right first choice. Like you sell a bottle of this hot sauce for how much?
$8.
Yeah. Yeah. Like at the farmer's market.
Yeah. $8 and 3 for $20.
How much do you sell cases wholesale to anybody?
I used to, but I was running around chasing my tail, wholesaling for cheap.
In theory, how much would you wholesale per bottle?
$4.17 or $4.16 and 6 repeating, $50 a case.
Okay, and when you're selling it for $4.50 a bottle wholesale, do you know how much it costs you to make it?
It's between $1 and $2 a bottle.
So call it 2, right?
Yeah.
So cool. So what has been your biggest challenge with growing the business that you're able to see right now?
My biggest challenge is I've got so many ideas that I don't stay consistent with a vibe, like with that bottle right there that you've got. I've collaborated over the past 5 years, and Harris, you'll love this, and you probably know a few of the people I've collaborated with. I know you're overseas, but back in 2019, I was listening to a bunch of comedians' podcasts, and they were sponsored by different brands like Stamps.com and the shaving companies and sex dolls and stuff like that. So I simply reached out to some of the comedians from their websites whose shows that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm a hot sauce guy in Vermont. Can I sponsor your podcast?
Now, did you do that only with comedians that talk about hot sauce, or?
No, then their shows had nothing to do with hot sauce. They were just dick jokes and just shit on each other type of comedians. Just dirty folks that.
Yeah, but hot sauce has a vibe. That
It does. It's cleaned up a little bit in the last 10 years, in my opinion. The like dirty, nasty, like hyper over sexualized hot sauces seem to be falling off in my experience, but they're not like the trailer park porn hot sauces are kind of gone now for the most part, I think.
Hey, Jeff, is it possible for you to change your camera angle so I don't see your fan? I'm worried that people with epilepsy might. Yeah, there you go. Thanks. Or me.
So you reached out to these comedians, and what happened?
Right. So the point of that whole story was I got involved with a bunch of comedians, and the brand itself became part of several shows. They were brought to you by Silk City, and the comedians sort of integrated the brand itself and me as a side character into the shows, which led to me having my artists draw the comedians on the bottles themselves, because they were like, they're really involved. Now you've got Chad Zumach's Mango Madness, Aaron Berg's Badass Jew Hot Sauce. You've got Kevin Dombrowski's Just Joking, Very Serious Buffalo Sauce. You've had, and the list goes on, honestly, Bob Biggerstaff's Chipotle.
Okay, so you really did that for a while.
It's not a horrible idea, because these guys are touring. They have merch. If you're willing to drop ship for them, because they don't want to carry boxes of hot sauce around.
Right. Yeah. So what was the problem with that whole model? Like, why?
Well, the problem was I developed a pretty intense fan base through their fans.
Right.
And it just it got reached a point where I don't even know what the term is, but each of those comedians are great, and they're funny as hell. And that's why I was a fan of them. But their fan base was relatively small, to be honest with you. And I would get like maybe a few dedicated fans from each comedian as the months progressed. And then what I was left with was this hodgepodge of different hot sauces with comedians' faces on them. And then I was doing other sauces like Psychic Bigfoot and Slurp, which have nothing to do with comedians. They're just like the ideas were imagined in my mind.
Right.
And so now I've got this like completely inconsistent brand that got comedians over here and pinup drawings over here, right, and Psychic Bigfoots over here. And then I got comedians that are like causing problems.
Interesting. You're like an artist though. Like but I don't know, why is that necessarily a problem? So if the comedian is the lead, is the tripwire, they came in through they like hot sauce more than the comedian if they're buying hot sauce from you. Yep, totally. So you have other hot sauces that you can sell them. And I actually think that there's something to the idea of there being even limited runs of things, since you are coming out with so many different things, and then maybe the most successful stick around. Also, I noticed on your site, like the graphics are super clean and professional, but no offense to the ones I just saw, they're more artsy, more amateur artists or professional artists, but more relaxed, not right, like the Dragon or the Vermont Maple Cayenne Tonic and Elixir. That's a really clean look. And I also noticed Levinsky's. I guess you decided not to go with the Jewish last name in your pseudo Polish over there.
Right. Well, the brand shifted from I didn't even get into that, but it's shifted from a hummus and pesto and dressing company in 2014, Levinsky's, and then I sort of like migrated or transitioned into a hot sauce company. The response and the sales were stronger, faster.
Okay. Jeff, I want to help you out here.
Thank you.
Because like you can go a lot of different directions, but there's some simple stuff that you're screwing up that like if you did it, your life would change. That I can see very clearly. Like this isn't going to be new information, but if like you do something about it, it's going to make a big difference.
Well, can we at least go with the assumption that Jeff, do you want your hot sauce business to grow, or are you happy with it where it is and you have your other income? You know what I mean? Like before Tellman blows your mind with like how to
actually that's fair. Thank you. I mean, what
I know that's what we're on for. I know that's what we're on for, but at least like let's make sure the doctor is operating on the right.
Yeah. So it's September 12th, 2024, the day we're recording this. And if you were sitting here a year from today, as a matter of fact, let's do it. Let's schedule it in. So September 12th, 2025, we're going to circle back with you. And you're sitting here and this is called the Dan Sullivan question, by the way. I did not come up with this question. So what would have had to have happened for you in your life, both personally and professionally, for you to be satisfied with your progress? If we were to like sit down a year from today and have this conversation, like what would have had to have happened for you to be like genuinely satisfied with the progress that you made in that last year?
That I paid for a vacation with extra income that I've earned from Silk City hot sauce.
Oh, I like that. How much? Like, what's the number?
$5,000.
All right, $5,000 vacation paid in full, no problem. Okay, that's good. And like, what would have had to have happened like in the business in order to make that a reality?
I would need to get focused so that I'm able to push. See, here's what I would like to do. I would like to clean out like a lot of the riffraff in my brand. I need a plan in place because I want to focus on what you have there in your hand, the Psychic Bigfoot. People have been raving about it. I mean,
really? I'm not the only one. So like that one's getting some traction.
Yeah, it's getting big traction.
That's really good. I'm happy to hear that.
And the other flavor, just for shits and giggles, is this peach habanero. It's like really kind of ahead like of the competition as a fruity peach hot sauce. It's like insanely good. The other part, Harris, that I've got going on here is I'm become very close with a gigantic farm in southern Vermont where I manufacture the product. And I'm able to like use their produce I buy from them. And
Jeff,
yes,
can I come in and help you make hot sauce someday soon?
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't made hot sauce like in a commercial kitchen in so long, and like I've had some interesting ideas about starting my old company back up again. And
also, I have some non-Silk City hot sauce here for everybody. It's a huge brand here. I think it's time. I think before we answer any more questions, we all have to have a.
All right, I got. You know what? Biker Bob's is now open for breakfast, Jeff, and Torger had me bring him to Biker Bob's for breakfast sandwiches before school started, and I actually have one right here. I'm going to put some Psychic Bigfoot on it. My last couple bites of my breakfast sandwich before the interview started. That's what I'm gonna go for.
Listen, I want to be really clear. This is a bad idea for me. I'm doing this for the lol. I'm doing this for the views.
For the tribe.
For the tribe.
All right. Are you gonna like? You're gonna like.
It looks like you're having a lot less than me. I better not have this whole spoonful. Is that right?
Cheers. You're fine, Harris.
I love sriracha. Do you have any with sriracha? Sriracha's hard to get.
Not in America.
Yeah, I'm a lightweight. I was going to use a word that starts with P.
That's inappropriate.
I am.
It's inappropriate.
I used to really love it, and I love it. I love the flavors. It's just the burning of my mouth.
I like that sauce too, Harris. That one that you've got there, there's sriracha. I've had that. That's good.
Yeah.
I haven't had it. I was just talking smack about it.
I know. I feel you. It's like what are they treading on Sauche's territory?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So
So here's what I want to do, Tellman and Harris. I want to get focused on what I do best. A few of my fruity sauces are like kind of my wheelhouse. I've been listening to people. I'm like really been opening to listening, and this is like it's almost like it's hard for me to admit that I've been open to listening to experts like yourselves and why I enjoy your show. I think 20 years ago I'd have fancied myself as sort of like poo-pooing your concepts and marketing and self-help. Like you never would have found me in a self-help section of a book.
I mean, some people are into it, some aren't. Different phases of life,
At 45, I'm like listening to you guys. I'm going, you freaking knucklehead. If you only listened 20 years ago and took your head out of your tuchus, then maybe you would been able to progress and maybe like build upon your ideas without being so uptight about like being like involved with leadership type mentality. That makes sense.
It does.
Yeah, but your hot sauce is an extension of an artistic, venture as well. So it's an interesting mix because I mean I have this problem with magic where like if I would have just stuck to performing for 25 years, maybe I'd be a star right now. But I also maybe I'd be
maybe not.
Maybe I'd be broker. Maybe I wouldn't have 2 kids. That's more important. So there's no point in. We can't do anything about the past, right? We can only do something about the present, which will change our future. You say personal development, you push the personal development button, I give you personal development. But it's true, right? I mean, we're all old enough to know there's no point in that. But what were you thinking about, Tellman? And does what you're thinking about apply?
Yeah, totally apply.
So I just want to say one thing. I just want to preface one thing. Tellman has brilliant ideas, brilliant marketing ideas, and as somebody who's been receiving of the ideas in the past, sometimes I'm a little, I'm not immediately ready to jump on them. So just get ready to take whatever idea it is and just marinate on it.
Jump on something. Just jump on some part of it as quickly as possible. Just like grab the one part of it that you can do something about today and do it. Right.
So but Jeff, what you've said is something that's like you think that part of the solution is to focus in on a certain what the fruity spicy profile, right? But you've tried some things in the past that have worked a little bit, and you've probably tried some going to the farmers market works. People love it, but is that enough for you? What sort of ideas does Tellman have on this?
Tellman has a little more insight too into some of my other business tech avenues or sales avenues. I don't know, Tellman, if that's what you were sort of thinking along those lines. The different shows and events that I set up.
Well, we didn't even get into that today. Right. But I think this is more foundational, actually. Okay. So look, if every bottle of so I hear what you're saying. You have these different hot sauce lines that you get an inspiration and then you work on that for a while. Harris, you said it's a lot like an artist and a body of work, right? Like you did portraits over here and you're doing collages over here, and then you get into sculpture for a little while, and then you got some glass blowing going over here, and now you're doing landscapes, and now you're back to portraits of animals this time, whatever. And so I guess what I'm saying is if every single bottle that you send out from this day forward has a nice, dude, I would do it Alice in Wonderland style, like a folded card, with a little red rope, and it can be like RSVP in cursive written on it or something, like a magical invitation and a QR code. Okay. So you're definitely missing the boat on the QR code on your hot sauce in particular. Okay. And so the reason for both of these is to build your list. Okay. Because you're depending on how you sell your hot sauce, whether you're selling it at farmers markets or whether you're selling it wholesale, or whether you're selling it at like any kind of where you set up a tent, like a comic book convention. I know you sell a lot of like comic book events. Mm-hmm. You And then with the comedians or other things like that, musicians, other people who have audiences, they may, if they're actually buying enough in bulk from you, you're not going to always be in charge of the point of sale. You're not always going to be in charge of that. Sometimes maybe, and whenever you are, you're going to build your list. When someone buys a hot sauce from you online or, swipes a card in the market, like, you build your list. All right. But if you pass the if you sell it wholesale and you pass it off to a comedian or you pass it off to a store or whatever, you no longer are there when this gets purchased, right? And that's where you want like a sweet ass invitation that's irresistible. You could split test them. Okay, so like it's almost like the beginning of direct mail with a QR code. They both probably lead to the same place, where you're joining a list in order to probably get a free sample in the mail. Okay. And
how difficult is it for you to make what is it? You're in milliliters. But anyway, like a little bottle, 1 ounce or a 2 ounce bottle.
We can do it.
Yeah. And a plastic one, right? Like, so do a plastic.
No, I think Jeff's against plastics from earlier, right? You don't like.
No, that was just a plastic hammer joke.
Yeah.
Oh, the plastic. Okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
But the plastic bottle is going to reduce shipping cost dramatically.
Well,
right?
and production costs.
Yeah.
I presume.
I'm all for plastic. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically some sort of what we call ethical bribe, right? So first of all, let's back up a second. I'm on his website. He doesn't even have a list.
Okay, I don't. But let me just stop you for 1 second. I have a phenomenal web developer. That website's been up since 20. I think it might even say there to 17. And my web developer was a Vermont guy. He doesn't live here anymore. He's in Colorado. I hired a new web developer, a local guy, and just one state over in New Hampshire. And it's under development. It's almost done. And I've been going back and forth. He's just working out the tweaks, and it's getting ready to launch, and it's going to look more like me and like it's going to have pop art. It's not going to be like too crazy, but it looks great. And we put a feature in to build my list because I've been listening to Tellman for years.
So build your list. What platform are you using for the list building? Is it MailChimp? Is it GetResponse?
I do. I actually I have a subscription to MailChimp, but I'm open to other suggestions.
It doesn't matter. I just want to make sure we're talking about the same thing here.
Okay.
So something that Tellman and I have been talking a lot about lately is the importance of creating an autoresponder as well. So carrying off on what Tellman just said, as soon as somebody signs up to your list, not only are you sending them a free sample, you're doing the ethical bribe to get them to sign up, but now you're sending them not just one email, but a 1 to 2 weeks worth of emails. Not every day. In your market, you don't have to do every day, but some sort of like, hey, welcome to Silk City Hot Sauce. Thank you so much for joining, blah, 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 blah. And then just some sort of touch points over the next 6 or 7 or 10 emails so that there's something that's automatically happening and you don't have to think about it. And then, whenever you have a new sale or a new hot sauce or whatever, you can put it in there. But you can also, in the autoresponder, you can push them to buy. At first, you want to just introduce yourself and get them warmed up to you, and get them opening, get them engaging, like maybe even replying back, right? Maybe even going somewhere to give a review. Which hot sauce did you buy? Give a review. Like maybe when they opt in, don't make the opt in more than name, email, and maybe 1 or 2 things. You are giving them something free. Tellman might say just name and email.
Yeah, well, let's just back it up. Let's just simplify it down, though, because like, however this is done, it can be done a million different ways. The point is, find a way of getting the people that buy your hot sauce to join your email list. That's it. Okay. Period.
That will change your life, Jeff. That will absolutely change your life.
The second thing is to, if you do this, every single person you start collaborating with will become a lead source for you. And now your job is to start thinking, you already mentioned, well, I work with a few comedians. They have small audiences. They don't have huge audiences. Now I have a mishmash hot sauce. Okay, Then you do a 50% off sale, do a hot sauce blowout, make a bunch of money. You can't do that if you don't have a list. And so the idea here, but if you do have a list, you can sell off whatever you want, whenever you want, for however much you're willing to sell it for. Number one. But if you do collaborations with people, just like we're doing a collaboration with you right now.
Mm-hmm.
If we were able to say, go to Silk City Hot Sauce, put in Tellman or put in TF, and you'll get a free sample of hot sauce. Boom, done. You know.
I'll put that. I'll add that to my website later. So honestly, I'd put promo code TF into the coupon code, and anyone out there listening will receive.
Yeah. There's so many different ways you can do it, right? There's like endless. So, I would also, I get another piece to the puzzle is if you really want to grow your business and you want to like not just stay plateau, like we can give you a bunch of advice today, and like you'll hold on to some of it, and then you can rewatch the video and we can talk more and whatever, and that's all cool, right? But like if you really want to grow your business, then spend a few $1,000s on some sort of a coaching program or training program, like to get a specific result to grow your business, right? Like the amount of money and time that you invest in improving yourself in your business is going to be directly proportional to how much it's going to improve. And it's like, if you're stuck in a rut and you can't get yourself out, pay somebody else to help you get out, right? And there are a lot of different types of ways to do that, right? There are a million different types, whether it's growing your list or becoming a better copywriter or learning how to write, sell more hot sauce or getting really good at e-com or getting really good at social or getting really good at live streaming or learning how to, do all sorts of different things on the marketing side. But I would strongly encourage you to like spend more money and time commitment than you currently are, and whatever you can afford, maybe whatever that is, on improving your marketing education on a regular basis, but throw some money at it, right? Like something, because that will focus your mind on like that will really, really, really help you. Outside of any other advice that we might give you today, like that'll, in my experience, that'll really move you along. I like how you talked about all the collaborators, the comedians.
How long ago was that, Jeff?
Did I started doing that? 2019 is when I started doing the collaborations.
And you still do it? You still do it a bit?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the cool part about collaborations is so we were talking before we went live, we were talking about Johnny Scoville a little bit. Like Johnny Scoville is the like celebrity of, as far as I'm concerned, tell me if there's somebody that I'm missing about, like he's like I think he's the biggest social media celebrity in the hot sauce world, aside from maybe the Hot Ones host. I don't even know his name. But like the cool part about Johnny Scoville is he's totally self-made. Okay. He started live streaming from his phone in his apartment in like Alabama. Okay. And he was in his 60s when he started. Okay. Wow. And like, and he's just relentless every day for years. He live streams unedited on YouTube, and he built a massive following for himself. And you can sell the crap out of hot sauce through collaboration. So you could do something like what we're doing right now. You could do a once a week or once a day. I mean, all depending on how much you're writing show where you interview people that you do collabs with. Like real simple. And if you don't have anybody to interview, you can just crack open a bottle of your own hot sauce. You can talk about it, whatever. You can live stream while you're making hot sauce. Like you should set up your phone and like literally live stream for 4 hours, the whole thing.
I love it.
Okay.
And as long as you've got that way for them to build a list once they buy the hot sauce, I mean, now everything starts to feed itself. Like we talked about it on one of the recent interviews. But if you spend an hour looking at how to improve a business, you're going to find like the 3 ways to improve a business are just, one of them is to sell more of the same thing to the same person, right? Sell more of the product, and this is the easiest way to do that. Man, having a list is so powerful. It really is. and it's gonna be a night and day difference for you. But like, guys, I'm looking because Tellman was like, oh, I don't even know the guy's name. The guy's name is Sean Evans, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Hot Ones guy. But like, if you look up like who are some of the top hot sauce influencers, it's a whole market. Like it's an endless market. I'm jealous. Like it's very clear cut niche market that you can reach out to and say, hey,
you can interview every single person in the hot sauce world, every single one of them, and like in the meantime, try hot sauces every day. I did that for a bunch of episodes right before I found out I was getting divorced. I was starting a project with my old business partner Josh Burns called I Love Hot Peppers. There's still a bunch of episodes on YouTube. And I dropped it when like the whole divorce thing began because it was like a side project and I didn't have time for like a side project. But you can have so much fun like creating hot sauce, hot pepper related content, like if you're into it, right? So what that gives you is it gives you the ability to bring more people in. So like you can talk to friends, like you go to a hot sauce convention, you'd like meet 20 people, interview all of them. Mm. You know what I mean? Have them send you their hot sauce, eat it together on camera, talk about the story where it came out, where it came about. Like interview all your competitors, every single one of them.
This is all like these are all roads that lead to the list.
They all lead to the list because you're like if you dude for just as an example, if you can sell more hot sauce by interviewing one of your hot sauce buddies than they can sell by like talking about themselves, then you're their best friend. Like you win, and so.
By the way, just to plant something in your mind too, the ethical bribe doesn't always have to be giving away something that costs you money. So like if you somehow get your stuff on Hot Ones, then you probably wouldn't want to give away 1,000 samples. You probably want to say, hey, get 50% off, so that's a different a different entry path. I just want to put that out there because that could be a really quick way to go broke is to give away like
well it could
cost you $1 to ship to 10,000 people.
If you do a free sample that's genuinely a free sample, like with no strings attached, then don't do that without taking like a month to build a really kick-ass sales funnel on the thank you page after the giveaway, so it makes money whenever people take a free sample.
Yeah, something you've already. Yeah, look, if you
cash positive. So the point is, turn it into a profit-making machine when people take a free sample. If you're going to do that, and I'm happy to talk you through it, dude. Yeah. But I guess the point is, build a big list of hot sauce lovers and chili heads. Every day, put time, effort, and energy into building that. And collaborations are a great way as long as you keep on looking for larger collaborators. Okay? Like, and then if you have cool hot sauce related content you're creating on a regular basis, you have plenty of stuff to email your list, right?
Right.
Because you have something to tell them every day because you're doing or whatever. Like,
you could send them a link. In other words, send them the link to the show, the content you just put out.
One of the best ways to do that is like right now we're live streaming, and there is a link that we could send out to the live stream. But like we're in the middle of a live stream, so unless we have assistants who are typing up the email and sending it out, it's really something that we need to do after the live stream. And so what you do is whenever you live stream, it immediately becomes a video on that platform afterward. Right, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or whatever, LinkedIn, and so whatever the primary platform is that you're trying to grow and get more viewership around, is you would grab a screenshot of the live stream from LinkedIn or from Facebook or from YouTube after this is over.
Yeah.
Type up a quick email saying, "Hey, I just did this awesome live stream with my buddy Tellman and his co-host Harris about hot sauce and entrepreneurship, and it was great. Go check it out." And then there'd be a picture, and that would link through directly to the Facebook live stream afterward, or the video. And so it's very easy to continue to kind of fan the flame. And what that does is it primes the pump on your viewership, right?
Tellman, we have a comment. Tellman, we have a comment. We have
My God.
Cindy Donovan, who is a brilliant marketer in her own right. You may not know that last name, Tellman. She changed her name when she got married. You know
No,
Cindy?
you've mentioned her recently, I believe, right?
Yeah, Cindy Batty. It used to be Batty. You
Yeah,
probably know her from that. But it's Cindy Donovan. So she put some lead magnet ideas for you. So I'm just going to read them. But then also Tellman, she's in Australia. You're gonna ship a bottle to Australia?
I guess so.
How about next time she's in the U.S., we'll get her a bottle of hot sauce.
That's
I don't
right.
think
I'll go in on the shipping with you,
You
Tellman.
know what an awesome hot sauce is in, I believe it's an Aussie hot sauce. It's so good. It's so well marketed. It's called Shit the Bed.
Oh, okay.
It's
So Cindy,
amazing.
hear that? Tellman would like you to shit the bed. All right. So Cindy Donovan says some lead magnet ideas for you that are pretty easy to build out, as Harris said, to warm up your traffic. Recipe ebook featuring dishes using your hot sauce. Sorry, I clicked see more. Hold on.
It's
So
okay.
recipe
It's
ebook.
okay. It's coming up next. Don't worry. It's coming. It's coming.
Okay, well, a recipe ebook, coupon code for discount, hot sauce pairing guide. I love that, especially for you. A hot sauce pairing guide is really cool. Access to a members only spicy club with special offers. I mean, we haven't even talked about the idea.
That idea. I really like that idea.
Like, we haven't even talked about like a subscription box for you. Like you coming up with so many new things. That would be like, that's an easy. I mean, it's not easy, by the way. It's easy to say it's easy, but you know,
it's easy to say, not easy to do. But it's not like in any way impossible. It's totally achievable, right?
Entry into a monthly hot sauce giveaway, downloadable phone wallpapers with hot sauce themes or memes, flavor profile quiz to help customers find their perfect sauce, early access to new product launches.
You know, the other thing that's really a really cool giveaway that you can do that gets you everybody's address but costs you almost nothing to send is to team up with people that make peppers, that grow peppers, and then give them seed packets. Right. So that requires somebody to be a grower, right? Or you can send them a dried pepper, right? But seed packets are like, they cost nothing. They're like 5 seeds in an envelope of like one of the hottest peppers on earth. Like, come on. Right.
So Jeff, so Cindy's basically giving you some really great ideas to incorporate into the autoresponder. Thanks, Cindy. We really appreciate that.
I appreciate that, Cindy. A lot of really good ideas.
Really good stuff. Really good stuff.
I just want to clarify or give one question to you guys, and because you guys like the collaboration idea, but there's so many sauces that it's enabled me to just focus on what like I said earlier, the few sauces that I think are so fucking good. But like I'll make a little bit of the ones that I think are really good, like Psychic Bigfoot or my Slurp, for example. And there's a few others. Whereas I spend so much time doing each collaboration and I burn through my bottles. I burn through my time because I also, I've got 2 kids and the other jobs and everything. So I was sort of thinking in my mind that I would sort of like kind of put some of the collaborations on mute and really focus on the flavors and like the strongest, tastiest products and try to drive those to the next level.
The collaboration does not have to be a new flavor every time. Like I know that's what you've been doing, but we're just talking about collaborating with people, interviewing them about their hot sauce, or if it's the comedian profile, then maybe make one that's maybe come up with a name that's for all comedians. Shit the bed is a great. You're right. That's taken, but something that's. Good night, Cindy. Thanks. She's in Australia. She's gonna go.
Right.
Thanks so much for popping in. That's what I say to all the women that come by.
It has less. So in other words, if I'm picking up what you guys are saying, it's less to do. I mean, the product is good, so that's good. Either the collaboration sauces or the ones that I think are the strongest. They're all good. I mean, everybody loves them. But the list is more. You think the list is more important than the specific 3 or 4 blends that I choose to stick with?
Well, 1,000%.
No. It's no. It's not a one or the other, dude. if you're going to get good at marketing and you're going to expect to last in any market, in any niche, if you don't have spectacular products and if you're not constantly trying to make better ones, you're fucked. Okay? So it is required to have extraordinary products if you want to do well in business in the long term. That's the deal. That's you're right. It's critical. That doesn't mean it's more or less important than getting better marketing. You need to, so yes, keep working on making better sauces.
But the products are the marketing. I mean, like doing new and more innovative or different flavors and stuff. That's part of the marketing.
That's part of the marketing.
You know. So, but when I was about to say 1,000% and got cut off, I 1,000%. The number one thing you need to do is focus on not just building your list, but using it as well. Once it starts to get built as a marketing tool, and then I wasn't really necessarily advocating only stick to 3 or 4. But I'm also saying you don't have to crank out a new flavor for every collaboration you do. That's asking for a lot as well, you know. But for sure, I think it's somewhere in between. So closer to obviously what Tellman's saying, which is you're always wanting to build new stuff, and also you just said you want to do what you do best. That's the fun part for you as well. Like you don't want to take away the thing that you're so great at, that you have a unique talent in it, you know, even if you think, oh, there's 1,000 other companies out there doing this, sure, but you're still you, and you've got access to the Vermont growers and they don't, or whatever, you know. So all of those things that's part of the marketing. The product itself, the products themselves are part of the marketing. Yes, you might have 3 or 4 that stay the winners forever, you know, and those are always being manufactured and always on the shelf, but you're always wanting to come up with in the market that you're in. I think you've got to always come up with
things. But what it comes down to, dude, is you have this relationship with your products that you're creating and you love them, but you don't have much of a relationship with your customers. Mm. And what I'm saying is your customers are more important than your hot sauce.
Excellent.
That's it. So it's like,
well, and who's telling you what the best hot sauce is?
This is like they'll give you good feedback on whether you're on track with your hot sauces and your marketing around your communication around them. But like, I would really basically what it comes down to is, if you want good, healthy business relationships with your customers to the point where they're going to be paying your bills for you, like you need to put the time, effort, and energy into creating a trusting, long-lasting, connected relationship with them that's going to last for a few decades. Like if you want your hot sauce deal to be your full-time deal, then like treat them like the most important relationships in your life outside of your immediate family and you know, kids, partner, and whatever. Like,
sorry, kids.
You know, like talk to them. You know, communicate with them every day. Like. Really. So like that's what I'm saying is more time, effort, and energy focused on caring for your customers and communicating with them will yield enormous results for you. And there are a million different ways to apply that. But like, build your list of customers every step of the way, regardless of what you're selling, what it's called, what it tastes like, what the label is, whether it's a white label, whether it's a co-brand, whether it's a collaboration, whether it's your own thing, whether there's a mascot like Psychic Bigfoot, whether there's not. Like, what I did think of after I mentioned the little lanyard thing is have it say "eat me," have it be a little invitation that says "eat me," and then they open it up, and then there's like a secret link with a code.
That's
or something.
Kind of the Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, and it's a little risque too, right? So it's just like the whole thing is like, yeah, make it classy and like "eat me," and then they can go and join the hot sauce letter and get daily hints.
I mean, how freaking interesting is it if you do continue to, you know, as you do continue to make new flavors, to talk about it, to talk about some of the stuff that you've tried, and you're going to make a limited batch, and the people that are on the list, they can be first in line to get the taste of the limited batch. Here's the first 100
bottles. You know, you guys.
I'm only making 100 bottles of these to see how you guys like them, and they're $20 a bottle. You get to pay double for to be my taste tester.
Because it's small batch, baby. Small batch.
How amazing!
Organic, locally grown.
And then whatever wins out of those batches becomes your next, you know, flavor of the year or what have you. So
Right.
I know it's also.
Oh, dude, that's the other great way. If you did have a monthly hot sauce subscription box,
Mm-hmm.
what a great way of selling your overstock.
Mm-hmm.
Or a mystery box.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, your monthly mystery hot sauce box, right? I mean, not everybody has to get the same thing.
It doesn't sound like you focus on trying to be like the hottest or the spiciest or something like that, right?
No, that's not my thing. Right. It's just all they're tasty condiments that people that are looking for a little heat.
But if Sean from Hot Ones said, "Hey, make me something with heat,"
You'd figure it out.
You could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. This is great. This is great. Well, dude, I totally want to come in and make some hot sauce, and we should live stream it.
Fun. Let's do it.
Serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you fly me there, I'll be there too.
All right. All right. Harris
Cool.
is going to jump out of a plane. He's going to parachute down in the middle of the thing.
Dressed as a habanero. Or I'm gonna wear a bikini and I'll just have my weenie look like a habanero. How's that?
No, you can stay. You can stay in the UK.
Oh,
this is good. This is.
I wanted to you guys know that we were all
trying to fit in. That's right.
And you'll definitely have to come back once Tellman gets the beard back. So since we all have a little facial hair as well.
That's right.
Tellman looks like he's a 14-year-old now without that facial hair.
14.
Well, a bald.
So, Jeff, where do people go? SilkCityHotSauce.com?
Yeah, please come over to SilkCityHotSauce.com.
Well, actually, tell everybody why the heck it's called Silk City Hot Sauce, please.
Sure. Silk City was the sort of pet name for Paterson, New Jersey, where my ancestors are from. So it's a way to honor the family roots of Paterson, New Jersey. If it weren't for Paterson, there would be no me. So, and I thought it sounded cool because not only was the Silk City where my ancestors are from, Paterson, but the Silk Road historically was the famous route all throughout Eurasia where folks traded spices and religion and ideas, and it was the great melting and meeting of the minds historically. And I've been fascinated with the Silk Road for many, 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 many years. I'd like to, when I one day travel, if you ask me what my 25-year plan is, it would be to like take the Silk Road via camel and caravan with all through those ancient places.
So Jeff, like, what if we told you could do that in 5 years?
Even better, because that this way I'll be able to actually walk it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, and in all seriousness, I mean, like, it's just a mindset type of thing. You know, your goal is that Silk City has enough extra income so that you could take a $5,000 vacation in a year from now. But really, if you have a 3-year goal to maybe that's a $50,000 trip that you're referring to or more. I mean, not to mention that, like, if you do a bit of what we're talking about, like integrating, I don't know if that's the right word, collaborating with influencers and kind of becoming a mini influencer yourself, then you'll have even more reason, not to mention tax write-off, to go on that Silk Road trip and, you know, take photos or blog or video, whatever your output is, you know, and find people to collaborate with along the way. Holy cow, you know, that could be a really interesting, incredible integration. That there it works there of your goals and your business at the same time. But it's all possible, you know. It's just a matter of really focusing in on it, and you're going to see that the power of having a list is going to really change your business.
Dude, I fully agree. I just had a really, really, really good thought. This is a long-term thought, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is how we work together. So historically, hot sauce and salsa, the problem with it is there's no back end. Okay. So it's all individual, little tiny bottles of salsa. Maybe you sell a case, maybe you sell 100 cases. If you know, maybe you sell 1,000 cases, but at that point it's like you're really not making much money on it, right? You're making like nothing when you're selling bulk. So you have to, in order to make a lot of money in the hot sauce or salsa business, you have to be a big company. Okay? Big company, right? Like if you want to like do $1 million in sales, still you'll end up keeping like 200 grand if you're lucky. You know what I mean? Like,
Which
so
we're happy with. Jeff's happy with that, Tellman.
maybe. But
200 days not bad. Yeah.
But I was just realizing something. So you produce your hot sauce in a commercial kitchen that's not your own,
Right.
that other people produce other things in. And you
Co-work.
also have experience collaborating with comedians and others to create collaborative hot sauces to help them launch their own hot sauce under your with your expertise and hard work. Yet there are lots of people that would love to launch their own hot sauce, but they don't know how. And every single one of them loves hot sauce. So what if you sold hot sauce and your back end was, let me help you launch your sauce. And they gave you $5,000 for your 12-week launch your hot sauce coaching program, or $25,000. I'm making numbers up completely right now. Okay, this is completely off the cuff. 20 grand, 25, 15 grand.
$1 billion.
Come in, we'll launch your hot sauce. We'll get the recipe dialed, we'll get the labeling dialed, and you'll walk away with your first 1,000 bottles for 10 grand, or whatever it is. Basically, we'll help you launch your hot sauce business.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, this would have been a better way to do it with the comedians, although we know they're all broke. But like, imagine if the comedians paid you to make 1,000, make 100 or 1,000 bottles for you, and now it's theirs, and you're done marketing it,
Sure.
and every bottle has a tag on it that still goes in your list. They've basically bought all 100 bottles for whatever, $2,000. You've collaborated with them,
right?
done
Whatever it is, yeah.
See it,
So all of a sudden, it becomes so. This happens. I know we're way over time here. Can you guys stay on for a couple more minutes?
We're not way over time. We're in an hour.
Yeah, so.
But no, I got to go by.
This happens with books. This has been happening for many years, though it's been a while since I've seen one of these. They happen all the time so you might have a best-selling author, okay? So you could talk about Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen from Chicken Soup for the Soul. I know for an absolute fact that they did this model over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, they released Chicken Soup for the blah, blah, blah soul, over 100 different books for blah, blah, blah. Okay, different book titles, by collaborating with other lesser known authors who spent 100 grand or 50 grand or 20 grand or whatever the deal was in order to basically be able to say, I'm going to do a Chicken Soup for the Soul book.
Oh, what a great idea. They franchised the Chicken Soup.
So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it that they've also done, Robert Allen used to do this all the time. He passed away not too long ago, is what you do is you do a collaborative bestseller. So you can pay $5 grand in order to be one of 10 authors that all contribute a chapter to this book. Right? And then we're going to basically take the collective money and drive it into advertising to shoot it up into a bestseller. And so everybody gets bestseller status because we're all co-authors. Right? So this happens in book publishing all the time. And it's actually interesting. It's the same model that we're actually kind of showing people in a certain way. I mean, it depends on whether it's a collaborative model with your name, face, and or business on it and theirs, or whether it's just like they're paying you to do a private label.
Right.
Really, that's kind of like what they're doing is they're paying you to do a private label. Maybe they don't even need to show up, or maybe they do, and you spend the weekend working together in the kitchen and bang it out. So you can charge different amounts for that. And, but it's a really interesting back end because that's a multi-$1,000 back end and numerous $100 or multi-$100 info products before the back end to teach people the business of launching and selling hot sauce, right? And like you could spend a shit ton, like I kind of want to do this. You could spend a shit ton of time just interviewing all of the hot sauce entrepreneurs that are willing to talk to you and actually talk about the real deal of like launching, running, and maintaining a successful hot sauce, salsa business, chili business. Anything in the chili pepper world is probably good, but hot sauce is probably the most common. Like you could interview all of them, and like some of them won't talk to you or reveal their secrets, but like I bet a lot of them would, right? And if you like go and you talk to all the biggest players about like what's the secret to their success and how their business really works and how they got it off the ground and how they like maintained it for decades, you know, talk to Blair and talk to, you know,
So
all the guys.
So some of this is so some of this becomes, he said long term. So some of this becomes obviously, you know, that's definitely something to look towards. Let me ask you this: you said you have two other jobs, right?
Right.
Would either one of them be able to go away if Hot Sauce made you 5,000 a month or 10,000 a month profit?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the on-call job definitely can go away like that.
Did you say alcohol job?
No, on-call.
The on-call job
Yeah.
could go away if you made a certain amount of money. So that's something to think about, that the doing the list building approach and basically doubling your business overnight, probably, you know, like not overnight, but you know, within a year, whatever you're doing now can very easily double or triple just by doing this one marketing strategy. And then you now you basically say, okay, let me free up some time, and then I can really start focusing in on some of this stuff. I'm just trying to be realistic with this as well. You know, like
again, you're not like even if you like apply 5 or 10% of the things we've talked about today, like you're going to move forward, right?
No, all you got to do is do the list. Like the takeaway is you're already doing it. You're already planning on doing list building. You probably have MailChimp, whatever. Make sure you put some sort of autoresponder. Keep it engaging, and you know.
Yeah, I have all this stuff. I just haven't been engaged with it. I've been a subscriber to MailChimp for probably a year, and I haven't done anything about it. But I think that's, I think I'm the classic just sort of entrepreneur that's just sort of like skating, like, like holding the railing of the ice skating, the ice skating rink, and just kind of going around and without really just kind of just going for it.
It's so exciting to see a business like yours that's not doing list building yet, because we both, Tellman and I both know how life-changing it'll be.
You know, one other thing that I would really, really recommend, Jeff, is how's your relationship with the computer?
It's not bad. It's not bad. I use it primarily for my other source of income. So I can type, and I'm not afraid of it.
All right, cool. So, basically, in my opinion, if you want to make any money with your online stuff, hiring a web developer is probably not going to make you money. In most cases, most of the time, like it might make a pretty website, but it's probably not going to make you any money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying can your web developer. I mean, that would be stupid. Get
the beautiful website out. Tellman and I don't care about beautiful. We care about
that's just for your own ego or your parents or whatever. But
there's value.
Get in the paper or whatever. You know what I mean? In public image. But if you want to make money selling hot sauce on the internet, you got to learn how to build funnels. Okay, and so just so I'm clear, on what I'm talking about, is imagine if you got good at doing the following: making a website that focuses on selling one bottle of Psychic Bigfoot, okay, for $8 or whatever it is that you're willing to part with it for, plus shipping, and then people can check a box, and then they can get the 6-pack, maybe of your 6 sauces, and then they fill out the credit card information, and then they get to a video where you're like, yo, I'm Jeff. And if you love hot sauce, then you're going to love the Hot Sauce of the Month Club. I want to give you a free trial to the Hot Sauce of the Month Club. I just started it up. I'm going to send you 3 bottles of my favorite hot sauce every single month for, $19.95 a month or whatever it is. Get your first month free with your order or whatever by clicking a button below. Okay. Then they do that. And then on the next page, you're like, thanks, you joined the Hot Sauce of the Month Club. If you really love hot sauce, then I've got a special deal for you. I have 37 different hot sauces. Here they are. And you show them a lineup or whatever available. And this is the vault. Okay. This is the Silk Road, treasure pack or whatever. And you can get all 37 of my hot sauces for $99 shipped directly to your door as the super package. And I'm just giving you some examples, but nobody does this in the hot sauce world. And I know that when I buy hot sauce, I often end up spending over $100 on a hot sauce website when I do it. You know what I mean? So like, but like just trying to sell one bottle of hot sauce, you know, and expecting people like that to like give you a sustainable business, like it's never going to happen in my experience. And so learning how to make sales funnels with upsells and really learning good marketing strategies. So using something like ClickFunnels or one of its competitors.
So wait, I was going to mention ClickFunnels because first of all, they're a customer of mine, they're having their one funnel away challenge right now, and they've got Damon Johns involved in it as well from Shark Tank. I put a link in the private chat, and I also put a link on my Facebook page. But this is my personal link to the funnel challenge. I don't make any money from it, but it's just so that I know that I just know where the link is. And it's ClickFunnels is a company that Tellman was just telling you about, and they have like a 5-day challenge to build your first funnel, but they give you a ton of training on what that means. So it's a combo of list build. It's really it's everything that we're talking about, but just up on the web instead of only handing out a bottle at the farmer's market. It's putting a page up on the web, and the page can be pretty, but it's going to be basic. It's going to be like, here's some words and here's some graphics and here's what you've got to do. And we've just learned through testing that pretty generally doesn't equate to more sales. It doesn't mean not more sales, but it doesn't seem to have too much of an effect either way. But it's to have a good professional brand. I don't want to buy hot sauce from maybe I do. But that's a different market, right? I don't want to buy hot sauce from somebody that looks like they've got a D rating at the restaurant, right? Like I want to buy something that that.
I think what we can talk about another time, but I have actually a really good idea for a hot sauce MLM that we should talk about.
Cool. Yeah, let's not talk about that now. But I think that some of these ideas that have been thrown at you, again, list building being the base level, building a sales funnel. It would be next, and then this is an opportunity for you to go spend, I think, $47 to get involved in this challenge. The reason they're willing to do that is because they know after the challenge, you're going to stick around and give them $100 or $200 a month to keep your page up. Okay,
keep software, So first of all, Russell Brunson, who started ClickFunnels, and we started at the same time. We used to cross promote with each other. We were actually involved with a product together way back in the day.
He won a video game machine from one of my product launches. Actually,
that's right. And so ClickFunnels is not like the end all be all of funnel software either. Like it's been around for a while. It has its own issues. You know what I mean? It's not perfect, but what I'm saying is learn how to build funnels and offers yourself, Jeff. Mm-hmm. Don't rely on a web developer. That's really the message, so that you can have an idea, just like you have an idea with inspiration for a hot sauce. You can have inspiration for a way to sell hot sauce and work on it for a few hours in the evening after your kids go to bed, and like press the send button on an email in the morning and like go to work and walk back and get home and have sold more hot sauce than you made money, working at your job, like while the email's doing its thing. Mm-hmm. That's where we want to get things to for you, so that you have recurring income, hopefully coming in from some sort of club or membership program, and that you're able to sell your and perhaps other people's hot sauce too better. But the tools are right in front. They're totally available for you right now. They really are.
Amazing about today, about this time of the marketing world, if you will. I mean, it's like there's so many great tools out there for entrepreneurs to just get going, So but we've obviously, Tellman and I have known about this stuff for 20 years, right? But it hasn't been quite as easily accessible, but it's caused the market to grow. I mean, you see you'll now, once you start getting keyed in to what this is, you're like, oh, that's a funnel and that's a list build. And, you'll start noticing it, just kind of like when you hear somebody's name, you'll hear the name 20 times, Yeah. So I'm excited. I do hope we have you back on, and let's.
Cool. Well, you're gonna probably see me sooner than later with Tellman at the kitchen. We'll do a live stream together that will cross promote on my channel.
But we're not doing that till you have a list. Till you can build a list with it for sure. Right.
Yeah. We got work on building your list. Like let's go on the phone and actually make that happen.
Cool. You got it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
you don't need. Yeah, you don't. Yeah. Anyway, Tellman's right. It doesn't matter which way you're going to build a funnel, but I just happen to know about that because we go way back and all that.
No, thanks for the link. Appreciate that.
And I do highly
Yeah.
recommend ClickFunnels. By the way, everything out there is going to have.
Yeah, everything's good and bad. You know,
Some is worse than others. I mean, ClickFunnels freaking it works. You know what I mean? And yes, sometimes there's little things that are a pain in the butt, but I'm just going to keep saying.
yeah,
But
everything's got its own quirks.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to getting a taste. I'm going to have to come to Vermont to get a taste of the bottle, your hot sauce. I'm afraid, but
We'll send some
I'm
seconds.
going to send you some, Harris. I appreciate it.
I'm in the UK. Wait till I'm in the US and you can send it to me in the US.
You come over here every once in a while?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I have family in Florida, and then also I might have someone in New York to go visit or something.
We'll have to stay in touch and let me know.
Cool. All right, guys, rock and roll. Thanks for being here, Jeff. Thank you as always, Harris. All of our wonderful Tellman and Fellman show viewers, thank you very much. Thanks.
And I want to have Cindy on, by the way. I told you I wanted to have Cindy on, so hopefully we'll talk about it. So, by the way, I should mention, Tellman did kind of gloss over one of the strategies that he talked to Jeff about is a strategy that we are doing a boot camp for, and it's the interview series strategy. So it was the idea that Tellman talked about where Jeff would interview, 12 competitors essentially, or maybe 8 competitors and 4 growers or something like that, and collaborate with them and build like a big, we call it a summit series. You might not call it that in your, you could call it a master class on or a farmer's market, a virtual farmer's market.
If you were if you were gonna do our model, Jeff, what you would do is you would do a hot sauce summit, and you would interview the 12 biggest name people in the hot sauce world that have well-known hot sauce and a list of people to promote to.
List.
Okay, a email list. They'll also have a social media following, but you want to find the 12 people that are willing to collaborate and play ball and all promote the hot sauce summit. And so you do the hot sauce summit and you do a webinar and you'd promote the crap out of their hot sauce and or their book, or if they have anything else as a part of the webinar. You could totally build a giant list of chili heads following our summit.
Do you think hot sauce makers by and large are do they think about market share competition, or do they know that people like different types of hot sauces and they're okay with that? Or I guess some will, some won't. So what?
I've been out of that world for a long time, and even when I was in it, I was only in it for a few years. So Jeff, you have a more up to date perspective on this.
I think a lot of the crafters know that our consumers like to get a little taste of from the smorgasbord of makers.
Yeah, great. And a couple won't, and who cares? Just move on to the next one. But you build your top, 25, 30 people that 30 companies that you'd like to approach, right. And you approach them. And like Tellman said, he says the biggest, I say the biggest you can get,
That's what I'm saying, the biggest you can get. I mean, the biggest that will say yes and respond to you and agree to play ball.
You're the one that's building this project. You're in charge of the Hot Sauce Summit. You create the Hot Sauce Summit, and guess who gets the biggest benefit of it? It's you, but it's such a win-win. I don't know if you've been following.
Dude, you know what? Holy smokes, dude. Okay, so one of the biggest.
This is hot, everybody.
So when you do a virtual webinar summit, which is what we're talking about, generally speaking, the way most people do it is they do it for free. You put in your name and email, and you can attend the summit for free. And maybe you may even call it an expo, just given but a virtual expo. But you do it for free, and then people charge to upgrade, and they're like, well, get the VIP pass or get the backstage pass. You're going to be able to come off the webinars. You're going to be able to jump into some Q&A, breakout rooms with the hot sauce celebs, and you're going to be able to ask any personal questions you want and all this stuff, right? But what if you had 12 speakers and your upgrade was you're going to send them all 12 bottles of hot sauce, 1 bottle of hot sauce from each of the 12 speakers, right? is the upgrade after they opt in for the free summit, and that's the beginning of the sales process, right? So so not only do they get the backstage pass, but they get 12 bottles of hot sauce, shipped directly to their door within 7 days or whatever.
It'd be so cool too if each of the speakers had the hot sauces as well, so they can kind of talk about some of the the other hot sauces too. That could be pretty neat.
Yeah, you could send out the package to all of the speakers, and yeah, there's so much fun you could have with it. And then people would register for the individual webinars. And some of them might be about making hot sauce, and some might be about marketing hot sauce, and some might be about launching your own hot sauce, and some might just be about like growing hot peppers. Somebody might be selling their hot pepper book. Somebody else might be selling their pepper seeds. Somebody might be selling their just their hot sauce. It would just be great. Hot sauce virtual summit, dude. That would rock. I highly recommend it. Like that, you would build a big ass list of chili heads if you did something like that.
So people like that idea generally. It's a little tricky for a food product, so it's interesting. I wonder if anybody's even ever done something like that. That sounds really innovative and different. But anyway, if people have for sure, we know it works great with digital products and information products, and some of what Tellman's talking about is blending some of even the physical with like a teaching or an information product aspect. But anyway, we got to wrap this up. So I'm trying to wrap it up and say, if anyone's interested in building their own virtual summit or talking about list building or anything along those lines and really want to take your business to the next level, then put boot camp in your in the comment and direct message either Tellman, myself, or even Jeff, and Jeff will get it to us.
I want to say, comment boot camp and direct message us so that we make sure we see it, because we're on all sorts of platforms.
Just one. It's just direct message one of us, and we'll get
a direct message so we can get you a link,
because we might not see it a day later. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for being here, Jeff. It was really great to have. It was a really good shift for us to not be talking about marketing for marketing's sake and talking about marketing for hot sauce.
Hot sauce sake. Thank you.
I appreciate it, and it was a really cool way to start the day. And until next time.
All right, dude. We're gonna have to get together and eat some nachos.
Nice.
All right,
everybody. Well, thanks again for coming. Now we're just gonna pretend like we're waiting for hopefully Tellman has pushed the button. This happens at the end of all of these.